What's up, guys? I'm back with another video, and in this late night vape video, there are a couple things I want to talk about that have changed, and one of those is that I am back to using nicotine. I'm not sure what happened a few days ago, or probably a while back by now. I started to actually suffer from the withdrawal. I started getting in a bad attitude, and I started getting very edgy and angry. So my mom and my older brother actually went and picked me up a Juul because I was wanting to try that before I switched to the zero nicotine. And so yeah, they went and got me a Juul, and I was kind of really let down and disappointed with myself because I did go back to nicotine, but it is what it is. Right now, I don't actually have any Juul pods because they're all empty. I've been refilling my pods with um, this Vapage strawberry 24 milligram 2.4% nicotine, and that's what I'm using in my Juul right now. And I'll go ahead and take a few days. I wouldn't say it's the best liquid to refill your Juul pods with, but it does work pretty well. And I have been having a pretty good vaping experience with the Juul, even though I have been refilling my pods. The Juul has been working just fine. Really glad I decided to try it, and I know it's been a little while since I posted a video. Um, yeah, I just really wanted to wait a few days and see what would happen if I was gonna. I was trying to figure out what I was gonna do, if I was gonna stick with the zero nicotine or go back to the nicotine. Ultimately, I ended up going back to nicotine just because I guess the day-to-day stress got to where it was too much. It was really starting to get to me, and I thought I was actually gonna make it this time, and I didn't. But who knows? Maybe I'll try again later in the future. I don't know. But for right now, I still am using nicotine. Fix my pod. Um, yeah, like I said, this isn't exactly the best liquid to use. It has gotten a little leaky, and I have tried this liquid in a few different pods, so I think it is just this juice, or at least so far, the strawberry one that I've tried has leaked, and my tool is fully charged. I did just charge it. But for filling my own nick, the flavor is really good. It tastes like a mouthful of fresh strawberries. The nicotine, it isn't a salt nick, it is a regular e-juice nicotine, 24 milligram, 2.4%. It doesn't hit quite as hard as a normal Juul pod, which I prefer an actual Juul pod, but you know, for just having something to vape and something to get me by, this is still very satisfying, and I still am enjoying the vape. Plus, I still get to use my Juul, and it's kind of a bonus because so far I like all the Juul pod flavors, and the fact that I can vape the Juul pods, and once they're empty, I can refill them. The fact that I have that option is really cool, and I really like the battery life indicator on the Juul, and the Juul has just been one of the best vapes I've had. nice mouth to lung. The flavor is pretty good. Uh, but yeah, I do notice that at least with this strawberry flavor, it I've tried it in three or four other empty pods, and they all get a little bit leaky, but it's not a big deal because I regularly clean my jewel like once a week or so, every few days. So that doesn't really bother me, and it still is a good vape. And I just love the jewel. It would probably be a much better vape if I was using some salt nick e juice to refill my pods, but this 24 milligram is vaping just fine. It tastes good. The jewel hits good. And it is a great vape. And I mean, I'm getting a Nick buzz just from this, and I like the little party mode. I like that the Jewel has a party mode. I've wanted a Jewel for a long time, and I actually quit wanting the Jewel whenever I was going to switch to the zero nicotine because the pods came pre-filled with salt Nick e juice that is 5%, 50 milligram. But whenever I guess I started having the withdrawal symptoms finally, whenever it really started kicking in and my body really started craving the nicotine. I did notice myself that I was starting to get a little bit edgy, more and more edgy every day. So they surprised me because they had been talking to my fiance, and I had told her I was to the point where I was about to just get a jewel anyways because I didn't know if I could handle the day to day stress. So they came up to my work at Tractor Supply and dropped off the jewel when my brother got paid. So he got it for me. So that was pretty cool. I thought that was pretty nice. He didn't really have to do it. They just knew that I was wanting one, and they had been talking to her, and I had mentioned it a few times. So I got a jewel. So far, my favorite pod that I've tried is the creme brulee, and then the fruit medley, and then the coal mint, and then the Virginia tobacco wasn't actually that bad, and I usually don't like tobacco flavored e-liquid, but it actually wasn't that bad. And yeah, but for the past 2 days, I've been just refilling my pods. I've got a few empty pods, and yeah, the experience is going great. I've been enjoying using the Juul even with filling the pods with my own liquid. So that's really nice and a good bonus. And it's really nice that the liquids I like to use actually work fairly decently well in the Juul pods. So that's awesome. Because again, I like the fact that I still get to vape on my Juul, even though I don't have the real Juul pods. And this strawberry is actually doing me pretty good. And I'm sorry I let you guys down that I wasn't able to stick with the zero nicotine, but it is what it is. I've tried to go to the zero nicotine probably two, maybe four other times, and I get about the same length of time, a week to 2 weeks, maybe at the most three, and then I break and go back to nicotine. But like I said, maybe in the future I'll try again. But as for right now, I'm liking the Jewel. I'm loving the Jewel pods. I'm even loving refilling the Jewel pods with my own liquid. Gives me a great mouth to lung hit, good flavor, and a good nick buzz. And like I said, it's still really cool. I get to use my Jewel. But yeah, that's pretty much the only thing that's really happened so far. I have been working a lot, which is why the videos haven't been being posted a lot. But I still do want to keep making videos, and I'm trying to be cautious of what I put up because of the YouTube strict guidelines that's going on right now. Because I really do like making the videos, even though I just do this for fun and as a hobby and to try to help people. And I'm just sharing my experience with you guys on what's going on in my vaping experience. But as for the Juul, this is a great device. If you're a smoker trying to quit smoking, I definitely recommend it. After trying it, it really is a great vape setup. And like I said, I've even been refilling my pods with that Vapage Strawberry 24 milligram e juice, and it's been hitting pretty close to the Juul, just not quite as hard. But I still get very satisfied. I might have to vape a little bit more, like take a few more vapes than I would with a Juul pod, but I still get the same satisfaction, still good flavor, and still good vapor production. And this pod is actually basically full. As you can see, it is a little bit leaky, but it vapes great. And I did notice that out of the recent creme brulee 4 pack that I bought, the last pod I used was slightly leaky as well, and that was with one of their own pods. Not really a big issue, but it did kind of suck that it was leaky. But from what I've heard, there's usually one in every 4 pack that's pretty leaky. The rest of the 4 pack of creme brulee pods was not leaky at all, and they all hit great. Even the leaky one gave me a good hit and a good neck buzz. It just leaked a little bit, just like this pod right now is. It's a little bit leaky, but again, I've noticed with all the other pods, like I have 2 other Joel pods pre-filled already as backups, so I don't have to like take my time and break this one completely apart. I can pop another one in and start vaping, and then fill this one up and set it to the side and wait. But even with the other two that I pre-filled, they've gotten a little leaky also. But again, it's not a big deal because I regularly try to clean out my Juul, make sure my contacts are firing at the best capacity they can. So I do regularly perform cleaning maintenance on my Juul, and it's hasn't let me down yet. And ultimately, I love everything about the Juul. Like I said, I love the pre-filled pod flavors and the nicotine strength, the hit that they give. And I like the fact that after I vape the liquid out of the pods, I could even reuse the pods. I think this pod's been filled up so far 3 times, and it's still going. The other ones are about the same. I've been rotating them. They've all had about 3 fills go through them. Don't show any signs of giving up yet. I did have one pod that I pre-filled go out on me after a day or two whenever I first started filling them because I was hitting it pretty hard because I was after that Jewel buzz hit, and I had to realize that I'm not using a salt nick juice and it is only 24 milligram. But since it is 24 milligram and not a salt nick juice, the throat hit is still very, very strong and very, very decent. Need to reach do that. And yeah, and that's one thing I've noticed that with the Jewel, even with the Jewel pods, I have to pop the pod out pretty regularly to check my juice and to shake the bubbles from the bottom. And every time I shake the bubbles, it instantly gives me better hits, and then the bubbles build back up, and I have to reshake them, like repack my pod, but it's still worth it. And again, I like the battery indicator feature. I like the party mode. I like the way it charges. I like the size and the portability of it. It's very small, very lightweight, and it gives me such a great hit. But yeah, so you know, I've talked about this juice on the channel before. But so far, the best it's ever tasted to me has been in the Jewel, refilling one of the Jewel pods. I don't know. I've tried it in the Soren drop. It was good. The flavor was good. The hit was good. But the Soren drop and the Saber pod system, their refillable pods don't hit nearly as hard as a Jewel pod or with a Jewel. And again, the fact that I can refill the Jewel pods is really nice because then it looks like I'm using a full Jewel setup. Even though this isn't one of their pre-filled pods, party mode. And yeah, the best it's tasted so far has been in the Jewel. And I ultimately love everything about the Jewel. And there's even some other companies' pods that will fit in the Jewel, like the Eon Smokes, the Zip. So you're not just stuck with the Jewel flavors or the Jewel pods. So that's pretty nice too. Again, just love everything about the Jewel. Really glad I got it. I've been using it constantly for about the last 2 weeks. Every day, this has been my only setup. And a normal Jewel pod lasts me a whole day, maybe a day and a half, but I know for sure a day. Using the pre-filled liquid, um, it lasts me about the same, about a day or 3/4 of a day, and then I have to refill it. But basically the same. But I just really enjoy the vape I get off this. It's a great setup. This is a setup I take with me to work, on the go, whenever I'm leaving the house, anywhere. It's just perfect. I slip it in my pocket. Half the time I don't even notice it's there. And it gives me what I need when I need it. A great vape, good flavor, decent vapor production. And I mean, you're not blowing huge clouds, but that Nick Buzz, and I'm already feeling a Nick Buzz because of how many times I hit this. But it's so good, and even without a real jewel pod, with my own pre-filled pod, it's just as good of a vaping experience as with a normal jewel pod. Not quite as satisfying as a normal jewel pod, but it's a close second using my own liquids. Like I could, just for something to vape and get by on. It works, and it's good because, like I said, I still get to vape my jewel, and I love using my jewel. I've been obsessed with this thing. I've wanted it for a long time. And I think that's kind of also what made me want to go back to the nicotine is I wanted a jewel. I heard about the buzz, and again, I noticed I was starting to get more and more stressed out, more and more edgy. I thought it would be worth it to try, and I do not regret it. The vape's great. I mean, that's all I can say. It's good. And there's little maintenance tricks you have to do, but that comes with any mod. And I don't mind putting up with the little wonkiness that this mod or vape setup carries because it's very minimal. It's super simple and a super great vape. And it works great. And I thought the Saber was really good. It was a good vape, but just not as good as the Juul and don't hit nearly as hard as the Juul. So I do plan to be using this for a while, and it'll probably be in a lot more of my videos, whether I'm using Juul pods, Eon Smoke pods, Zip pods, or filling up my own pods, or I mean, refilling my Juul pods, which I guess, yeah, would be filling up my own pods. But yeah, it's gonna be my go-to. It has become my go-to setup for the past 2 weeks for sure, and I don't plan on retiring it anytime soon. I love the hit. I love the buzz. I love their pods. I love that I can refill their pods. It's just a great setup for me. It works for the way I like to be. Still satisfying, and like I said, I'm getting a buzz from this, and I know I've been hitting it a lot, but like I said, I do have to vape a little bit more when I use my own liquid instead of their pods because the hit isn't quite as strong or quite as intense. But I still feel satisfied, and I don't mind vaping more because I love vaping anyways. But I think that's all I really had to talk to you guys about in this video. I just wanted to let you guys know about how the Zero Nick experience was going, how it went, how it ended. And I wanted to let you guys know why I haven't been making any videos lately and why I'm using the Joule now. And if you guys can't tell, I love the Joule. I am in love with this setup. I've wanted one for such a long time, and now that I finally have it, it's great. It's better than the Soren Drop, in my opinion, and the Saber. Just for the fact that you don't have to guess when it comes to liquid anymore, like because a normal Juul pod comes pre-filled, so it's nice that you kind of have somewhere to start with your nicotine level and your flavor profile. It's pretty nice, and the fact that they have 8 flavors right now, it kind of is very versatile and gives you some options to, like I said, start. And you can refill the pods. Like I've been considering buying a big 30 ml bottle of the Salt Nick E Juice, the peanut butter cookie, 45 milligram, so I could fill up my pods with some Salt Nick juice instead of using this regular e-liquid. But even just using this regular e-liquid, like I said, the vape has been very good and very consistent. Uh, I'm not sure if it's just this particular liquid or this particular company. I don't know because this is the first flavor I've tried by this company. Even though I've had it before, this is just the first one that I've tried in my Juul. So I don't know if it's just that particular liquid or the whole company's liquid, but it did get a little leaky. But again, that's a very minimal thing that's not very hard to take care of. And you should regularly perform cleaning maintenance on your Juul anyways. So good. Need to need to get those bubbles up. I can always tell when I need to get the bubbles up with this liquid because it'll taste a little funny, not like burnt, but like a dry or not saturated hit. So that's whenever that also lets me know when I need to pop my pot out and check the liquid capacity and shake the bubbles to the top. But once I do that, watch. Much stronger hit. The flavor's back. It's intense. So I do that a lot. Even with the regular Joule pods, I pop them out to check my liquid capacity and shake the bubbles to the top. But again, very minimal things, and I don't mind putting up with it because I love the experience and the vaping experience and the vape I get from this tool. I love it. It works for me, and it's really convenient to carry. The battery indicator is really convenient, and it just vapes great. And I love the look and feel of the jewel. And I probably took too big of a rip and pulled too hard. Yep, there's those bubbles. See, I don't know if you can see it, but you see those bubbles at the top right there? I just had to shape those up. And I know my pod's getting a little low, but that's okay. Who knows? I might even vape this whole pod while talking because I keep gushing about this vape. It's just so great, and I want you guys to see me using it so you guys know like it's good. And in case I kind of showed the bottle too quickly, that's that's how much I have left in my bottle since I've been using it. And I have had this bottle for about a week, and it's the Vapid Strawberry. It's a 15 ml bottle, and it's a 24 milligram, and it says it right here that it is 2.4% nicotine by volume. Let me turn that around so you guys can see. So it is a 24 milligram nicotine, and that is what I am vaping in my pods. Maybe I'll shoot a video about me refilling one of my pods, and if I get some new pods in, which probably won't be until 2 weeks from now when I get paid again. I gotta restock up on my 4 packs of pods, and I'm gonna get 4 different flavors because I've already determined it takes me about 56 to 60 bucks every 2 weeks if I want to vape nothing but a normal jewel pod. Because, like I said, a pod lasts me about a day, day and a half. So on the 25th of this month, I should be having 4 of the 4 packs to review and give you my personal preference and tasting experience on the jewel pods. And yeah, I plan to get those pretty soon. But actually, tomorrow, or not tomorrow, today, because I'm putting this video up real early in the morning, today I'm going to go get another 15 ml bottle. Maybe the classic menthol, the watermelon, the red hot cinnamon. I'm not sure yet. And also, I did want to correct the statement I said in some previous e-juice talk videos. They actually go to a 36 milligram nicotine, which is 3.6%, in the Vapage e-liquid uh, company line. I was at the shop the other day whenever I got the strawberry about a week ago, and I noticed they had stocked up some 36 milligram e-juice bottles, which is cool because I thought they only went up to a 24. I was wrong. I haven't tried any of the 36 milligram strength yet. I was thinking about getting the red hot cinnamon to try. Because this 24 is really good, and I've had the 18 milligram nicotine strength before, and it was good. I just don't know how satisfying it would be in my Juul, because whenever I tried the 18 milligram, I was using the Saber and the Soren drop, but the 24 milligram hits really good, and I think it's a great in the middle strength for me because it's not super low like a 12 or an 18, but it's not super strong like the 36 milligram. But I don't know. I would be curious to try their 36 milligram. The 24 seems to be in that perfect middle range for me. But I would definitely, sorry about that. I would definitely be curious to try the 36 milligram as well. And I just wanted to correct the following statement that I said. I believe that they only went to a 24 milligram, which was the highest, which was the strawberries, the 24 milligram I tested, or the first one that I tasted. Not well, I guess tested kind of makes sense. But yeah, the Juul's great, and even using my own liquid, I paid like $7.57 for that bottle, and it's lasting me a long time, especially in a Juul pod, because a Juul actually holds 0.7 mils of juice, not even a whole mil of juice, and it actually lasts me a pretty long time. and the battery life is fairly decent on my Juul. I get a pretty good long time, and it only takes like 30 minutes for it to charge from completely dead, which I have not even run this thing completely dead yet. As soon as it gets to red, I always charge it, and it usually lasts me a long time. That strawberry is so good. In a way, it kind of feels like I'm just vaping a strawberry Juul pod. Since I put my own liquid in there and it is a Juul pod, like the hit it gives me is almost as good as a normal Juul pod. Again, it's not as strong, but still pretty satisfying for a 24 milligram compared to 50 milligram. Still getting a good throat hit, great flavor, and I just really love my Juul. But yeah, guys, that's all I really had to talk about for this video. Like I said, just wanted to update you guys and let you guys know what was going on. And I was going to shoot an e-juice talk video, but I've already talked about this video, so it was more of just an e-juice revisit. I guess that's what I could have called it. But I do want to retry all these flavors in my Juul pods now, because after trying the strawberry, it's just been so great and has tasted the best and hit the best in my Juul. So now I'm kind of curious how the menthol, the watermelon, the spearmint, all the other flavors in this company hit in my Juul, because I've tried a few of the other liquids from this company, but I tried them in my other pod systems. And I'm looking forward to trying them in my Juul. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Stay tuned, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later, guys.